everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to I'm too excited to make an intro, to be honest. I just want to get into it. I'm so early that the captions are actually not available yet, which is why I had to look through the lyrics. The way we're going to do this reaction is the same we did with Luna's PTT. We're going to watch this first viewing, just enjoy the hell out of this music video, and then we're going to have a second viewing, and that's when we're going to start pausing and talk about the visuals and the lyrics. So without any further ado, if you guys enjoyed these reactions, you know the drill. Comment, like, Patreon if you want to see it. Dreamcatcher Mind is probably going to happen this month, so I'm very excited about that. Look out for an announcement when I'll start reacting to that series on Patreon, and let's get into it. Dreamcatcher Maison, or should I say Maison, because I believe it's in French and it means home, which makes a lot of sense with the lyrics and the post-apocalyptic nature of the theme of this entire album, as far as I understand. So let's get into it. I know I said I'm not gonna pause it, and this is going to be one of the few times that I do throughout this first viewing. So this is a post-apocalyptic world, and they are coming back to save it, is essentially what I'm kind of getting. And please, someone fight for us, save the world, save my world in the jungle, in the polar. Like, they're pretty much, it's this song, I'm guessing, is going to be like this cry for help, to help us and fight for us and with us against the destruction of our environment, which is ooh. Is that supposed to be like Lady Liberty, or the scales representing the balance, which is in chain? So in chains, so it's almost like the balance is completely out of whack. And I said I'm not gonna pause it. I'm so sorry. Hello, Gio. Anyway. I wanted to say hello to Sion, and then eh, 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 hello to all of you. Hola. Right.
사람들은 다 하고 싶은 대로 해 진심 비운 껍데기뿐인 거 왜 눈질 끈 감어 기다리다가 딱 봐도 보이지 않는 미래 후회할 때는 이미 늦었단 걸 알아 너 떠나기만 하면 다쳐 이상하게 덥지 희성의 법칙 마치 말라가는 네 양심과 똑같이 Please someone fight for the jungle, set my home in the polar. 지켜낸 나의 매성. Please someone fight for us. Set my home in the ocean, set my home in the desert. 지켜낸 나의 매성. Please someone fight for us. 지나쳐버린 순간 사라지는 매성, 매성. 모른 척하는 너도 다 사라지는 매성, 매성. Set my home in the jungle, set my home in the polar. 매성, 매성. Set my home in the ocean, set my home in the desert. Please someone fight for us.
I'll fight for you. All of you. The fact that this song, like instrumentally, almost reminds me a little bit of Mick Gordon's Doom soundtrack is absolutely crazy and very fitting under that apocalyptic nature of the scene in this video. That was absolutely amazing. This song is pretty much like a call to action, essentially, like fight for us. No one's voice is insignificant in this fight against the forces that ruin the environment. So I'm absolutely loving the beginning with them being teleported into this post-apocalyptic world, almost like living their place of comfort in that beautiful, almost like this heavenly place. And it's almost as if like they are calling you to action to fight for the world that you destroyed by ignoring it, by thinking that since I'm just one voice, that my voice doesn't really count. But then you realize that so many people feel the same way and think with that same mentality. So that one voice becomes the entire planet, which is ignoring the environment. And therefore, it is just creating this insane destruction, and everything is ruined as they are asking you to fight for my home in the jungle, in the desert, fight for my maison, which is home in French. So regardless of where you are, fight for what is yours, and don't let those people who are used to it, because the lyrics say in this crumbling place with a clear dead sign, and someone who got used to it. So somebody, the people who are pretty much used to this destruction are essentially almost like relishing in it, because the second they appear, we have all of these soldiers coming out of nowhere with all of these different heads, like a mouse head and whatnot, which was really very interesting. It represents the people who got used to it and turned it into a habit, and they don't want to fight for this world anymore because this world profits them. Therefore, the Dreamcatcher girls are really literally going into a fight, and by them fighting, they're showing you that there is still something to fight for.
숨이 막혀 저 멀리 사라져만 가는 내 Oh say 땅을 울려 무너지는 이곳에 선명한 데사인과 익숙해진 누군가.
Now, with this scene, I actually wasn't sure what it means, because the statue, it doesn't quite look like Lady Justice, perhaps, because that was my initial theory. And plus, them kind of from that chorus with those signs upstairs, it seems like they're almost in Los Angeles, perhaps. And I felt like at first this statue is the Lady Justice. And since it's in chains and it's almost literally bleeding with that red smoke, it's almost as if the scales are out of whack as the destruction took over the entire planet and the evil has pretty much risen. And we also see that SOS sign at the bottom, so maybe it represents the fact that people have tried to fight and they try to get some help. And maybe that's why the girls have finally arrived, because they want to take that justice to their own hands. They want to start that movement. Yeah, it does say Los Angeles actually. And it says north, west, east, exit. Like, save my home everywhere. Fight for us regardless of where you are, because the destruction affects everyone and everything. And as they appear, we also see a little bit of greenery. So maybe that is kind of like giving us a little bit of hope in terms of them starting this movement, taking the fight, and therefore inspiring others to follow suit. Gaon, I will constantly butcher that name. Please marry me. Like, that smile is going to fucking destroy me. And Sion, oh my god, and Jiu and Sua, oh my god, and Handog and Yuyan, oh fuck, and damn Dammy. I can't with these girls. Seriously, stop being so fucking talented. It's not fair. I'm not sure if Gahyun is representing, like, she's literally saying in the lyrics, break the habit. Is she literally herself breaking the habit, as they themselves are sitting like in that wonderful, peaceful place, and by breaking the habit themselves, they're showing you an example that it is possible to take the fight, and it's not too late to fight for what is ours. So they're pretty much setting an example, because it's one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to actually start that movement. Please marry me, all of you. That would be deathly.
사람들은 다 하고 싶은 대로 해 진심 배운 껍데기뿐인 거 왜 눈질 끈 감어 기다리다가 딱 봐도 보이지 않는 미래 후회할 때는 이미.
Okay, that flow is absolutely ridiculous. How fucking dare you? And the no signal, as in there's literally no signal with the outside world, because everybody has either given up, died, joined the dark side, or whatever, became part of the problem by being silent. There's no signal as they come into this world. Close your eyes tightly. I was waiting and looking at the invisible future. So do they kind of represent, like, almost like these, for a lack of a better word, I guess I'll call them goddesses, which is quite fitting. But so it's almost as if they were looking down on the earth, seeing how everything unfolds, knowing that they cannot actually do anything because it is out of their control, perhaps. And once the destruction occurs, that is when they decide to say, you know what, screw it, let's take the fight. Let's try to save what is left of this universe. And with people doing whatever they want, a confession with a heartless shell. Close your eyes tightly. I was waiting and looking at the invisible future. Like, they already knew that this world is doomed unless they do something about it. And people literally, Dami is kind of talking about the fact that people don't care about the environment, about your feelings. People only care about themselves. Therefore, a confession with a heartless shell, like, you make this confession, you say sorry, you say all of these things that would make you feel like this person is being sincere and actually cares about whether it's the environment or about another person, where in reality they're just doing whatever it is needed to get ahead, to go to that next level. It is essentially insincere. And I know it's already late to regret it. You'll get hurt if you're comfortable. Be my side. It is strangely hot. Oh, yeah. The laws of this planet, it's like it's drying up. It's the same as your conscience. Literally, the earth is drying up because there's no more greenery. So that is absolutely beautiful, much like our conscience, because eventually we'll feel something. And it's usually going to be way too late before we realize that, oh shit, we should have done something, but I'm just me. I'm just one person. And before you know it, a million people feel the same way. And therefore, the whole planet is fucking destroyed. By saying it's already late to regret it, like what's done is done. Just join our side, be by our side, and fight for us, with us. You'll get hurt if you're comfortable, much like the villain in this music video who sent these soldiers after the DC girls. That represents the people who got comfortable living in this world and perhaps are even profiting from it. Much like we see with like all of these post-apocalyptic movies like Mad Max or some other post-apocalyptic movies where the villain has all of the control and everybody just has no choice but to accept them. But then these girls come in and they decided to come down to earth because it is literally drying up, and they decided to take the fight. Therefore, in that chorus, we actually see a little bit of greenery as these girls appear. I'm so sorry for pausing at that part.
사람들은 다 하고 싶은 대로 해 진심 배운 껍데기뿐인 거왜 눈질 끈 감어 기다리다가 딱 봐도 보이지 않는 미래 후회할 때는 이미 늦었단 걸 알아 너
Like she's literally killing the soldiers, the ones who got comfortable, the ones that couldn't break that habit because they got complacent, and they joined. They became part of the problem. These girls are like essentially like these goddesses slash superheroes that are here to change the world, almost literally.
기다리다가 딱 봐도 보이지 않는 미래 후회할 때는 이미 늦었단 걸 알아 너 변하기만 하면 다쳐 이상하게 답지 이상해.
And she's literally watching all these screens as all of these tragedies in the world with the wildfires, you know, I believe it was in Los Angeles, right? Which is very fitting. Like the entire planet is being destroyed, and they're tired of sitting idly by, watching it. And Australia as well with the fires. So they're literally like goddesses, whether it's like Greek mythology, a metaphor of that, or something else, but they literally are up there in the sky in this beautiful place. And Gyu, holy Gyu. And I love that shot, almost like the security camera the villain sees Dami as she's literally talking to him, talking to the people who actually don't give an F about the environment, and like telling them like, it's too late to regret, and you'll get hurt if you get comfortable, which is, with her voice, I totally buy it as a threat, so yeah. And I love the fact that she does this and it cracks the screen and breaks the camera. Like, the villain is literally, in this music video, shaking in his boots because these girls have appeared. I wonder about the purple color of that energy beam and whatnot. It's almost like that crystal from Scream, who I believe Gahion is has tried to touch it and it broke and it kind of pushed her over the edge to the dark side. And then we saw a lot of that color as well in Odd Eye. Could it be a reference to the Dystopia trilogy? Perhaps. Like, to take it even a step further, them being almost like these goddesses, maybe they found their dystopia, but they still see all of these people suffering, like that SOS sign. Maybe I'm a little bit out of line and overreaching, but regardless, this is absolutely beautiful. I love the fact how literal those lyrics are, as Hand Dog is literally saying break your habit now, as she is disappearing and transporting into this into Earth to fight the battle. Maybe it even perhaps represent, by breaking the habit and them actually literally breaking the habit and taking the fight, it represents all of those people who promised to fight for us but ended up doing nothing. The interesting thing is the fact that their home, that heavenly place, actually turns dark and it looks very destroyed as they're taking the fight to Earth. So maybe they're doing something that they weren't supposed to do, and therefore it affects their life on that heavenly place, because they could actually die. And if they die down there, obviously their whole world is going to disappear, or maybe the destruction of Earth is affecting their place. I'm not really sure, to be honest, but it's getting very dark. And I love the fact that she's showing her tattoos as well. That piano is absolutely beautiful, and I love the fact that Sion is showing off her tattoos. GU's bridge is actually very interesting because it could perhaps represent the fact that they're having like this moment of deja vu, no pun intended. Like, they've been through it before. Take me back to that moment where my tears flowed down, my eyes were already submerged. Like, they've been through it before. It could perhaps reference the Dystopia trilogy and all of the sadness and depression and the things that they couldn't find within themselves in that trilogy. Like, this is not my dystopia, always feeling like referencing all of the sadness and tragedy in that entire trilogy about what this world has come down to. And now it's almost as if like they're feeling that moment again, and therefore they want to change it. They want to fight, and therefore they're calling you out to fight for them and with them as well. I'm not very sure, but this is absolutely beautiful. And the piano is beautiful. And again, with that purple energy, which really reminds me of Scream, especially with Gaihan. I'm going to continue, but I'm pretty sure I said that name once correctly throughout this video. And now Sua is literally pretty much about to annihilate the villain who represents all of the people that sat idly by and watched the world get destroyed and actually benefited from it, perhaps, which is really, really cool. And that superhero landing is absolutely wonderful. I'm guessing those are not necessarily yes men. I'm not sure who they are supposed to be. For a second there, I thought it was like rats or something.
Send my home in the jungle. Send my home in the polar. 지켜낸 나의 매성. Please someone fight for us. Send my home in the ocean. Send my home in the desert. 지켜낸 나의 매성. Please someone fight for us. 지나쳐버린 순간 사라지는 매성.
Her smile is everything.
Please someone fight for us. 지나쳐버린 순간 사라지는 매성. 모른 척하는 너도 다 사라지는 매성. Send my home in the jungle. Send my home in the polar. Send my home in the ocean. Send my home in the desert.
This scene right here, does that, like, we saw that head of the villain which Gaon destroys after rather Sua kills it. So is that them sitting wanting to save the world and then seeing what it may cause if they try to interfere? Is this like them fantasizing about going on the offensive and trying to stop the fight? Or is that them going back to their home in that heavenly place after they killed that villain, and now it's almost as if it is up to us to change the world. Like, they did the heavy lifting, they killed the villain, they killed the thing that was the cause of this, perhaps, and now it's up to us who are left, those who left that SOS sign in the beginning of the video. It is up to us to fight for them. I'm honestly, Dreamcatcher will never fail to mess with my head, whether it's the girls in general or the music or the lyrics, the visuals, like
Please someone fight for us. 지나쳐버린 순간 사라지는 매성. 모른 척하는 너도 다 사라지는 매성. Send my home in the jungle. Send my home in the polar. Send my home in the ocean. Send my home in the desert. Please someone fight for us.
the message is literally someone fight for us. It doesn't matter who you are, as long as you take the fight. That's all that matters, because we are to blame for what happened to the world, to its destruction. And those of us who pretended not to know, we need to break that habit. Those of us who wanted to ignore it and wanted to pretend like this issue doesn't exist, meanwhile, it is literally destroying the entire planet. And these girls are essentially calling to action to fight for what is right, for what is ours. That was absolutely beautiful. Though that last visual with them in that heavenly place, I'm not very sure if it represents like a fantasy of them wanting to do something, but they can't because it's not in their power to interfere, or does it just represent the fact that we destroyed that villain whose head was on fire, and then Gahian is destroying the head. We did the heavy lifting, essentially. We started the fight, and now it's up for us. It's up to us to continue with that mission and bring life back to Earth. That was absolutely beautiful. I have nothing else to say, to be honest. That was an insanely incredible song. All of these girls are so fucking beautiful, gorgeous. Vocally, this was fantastic. The sound was awesome. I love this song, to be honest. And Dami's rap was fucking fantastic. So You guys, let me know in the comments below about any details about this music video, the story, the meanings, and let me know what other songs on this album would you like me to check out on the channel to make a proper reaction to. If you had to pick one song that is absolutely a must, let me know down below and I will catch you all in the next one. See ya.